general election is less than 3 weeks away, and buoyed up by our recent victory over the Argentines and the Falklands, it looks as if we're heading for a substantial victory.
Vote Alan Clark. Firm government.
How I long to escape the introspective, minuscule horizons of Plymouth and get into real government. To rise above the 400 non-entity estate agents, merchant bankers and briefless barristers that make up the backbenches, and to finally become a minister. But I am returning somewhat uncertainly on account of my father's imminent, or so we are told, death. He went for colonic lavage to clear up his diverticulitis, which he hasn't got, of course, but the fool of a doctor can't see or won't accept that my stepmother, Nolwenn, is poisoning him. Papa, it's Al. I've come back to tell you how much I love you. And to thank you for all you did for me. And to say goodbye. I should have stayed longer, and I should have made him open his eyes. But I'm so glad I made it. The following day, Nolwenn phoned me to say he had died at 1 in the morning.
We are, I believe, the only party in this election which has clear, decisive and strong policies and a determination to see them through.
I, the undersigned, being the Deputy Returning...
I'm madly in love with my opponent, Frances Holland. I suspect she's not as thin and gawky as she seems. Her hair is always lovely and shiny. Perhaps I can distract her after the count and kiss her in one of those big janitor's cupboards off the lower Guildhall.
Clark, Honourable AKM 25,203. And I hereby declare that the Honourable Alan Clark is duly returned as the Member of Parliament for Plymouth Sutton.
The biggest majority since the war. A triumphant Mrs. Thatcher plans her new cabinet.
Sir Geoffrey Howe becomes the new Foreign Secretary, and Mr. Nigel Lawson becomes Chancellor of the Exchequer in place of Sir Geoffrey. Mr. Leon Britton takes over as Home Secretary, and Mr. Cecil Parkinson...
Who'd want to be a minister anyway?
...the newly merged Department of Trade and Industry. Mr. William Whitelaw moves to the House of Lords as Governor...
My wife Jane is used to my taking the apocalyptic view and allows me these occasional outbursts.
On the phone.
Probably ringing to console me. Ian.
Alan, the Prime Minister wants you to join the government.
At last. Parliamentary Under-Secretary of State at the Department of Employment. Of course, it wasn't really what I wanted, but at last I was in. Tebbit phoned, and as ever, I detected a note of suspicion as he welcomed me to the team.
Oh, Alan?
Thank you.
Good luck.
For once, the fast train was on time, and I headed off for London, where I was to collect the coven for dinner at Brooks.
Oh, really? Gosh, Al, are you really a minister? Zowie!
When the others weren't looking, Joey suggested to me in a whisper that she and I get a room at the Ritz. I was thoughtful. I've always been culpably weak in such matters. But I thought to myself, a new life, a new leaf.
Ah, the new boy. Well done, Alan. I know your secretary. She's very, very pretty. Whatever you do, don't lay a finger on her, especially in the lift. Huh.
Jenny Easterbrook, sexuality tightly controlled. She makes plain her feelings on several accounts without expressing them. 1, that I am an uncouth chauvinist lout. 2, that it is a complete mystery why I've been made a minister. 3, that my tenure in this post is likely to be a matter of weeks rather than months. Take dictation?
No, Minister.
Shorthand?
I'm an official, not a typist. The Enterprise Allowance Scheme, Job Release Scheme, Community Scheme. They will expect you to have at least some knowledge of those, even if you can't fully get to grips with them.
Subject matter is turgid. Mass of schemes whose purpose plainly is not so much to bring relief to those out of work as to devise excuses for removing them from the register. Convoluted and obscure even at their inception, they've been so picked over and modified by civil servants as to be incomprehensible.
It's your mail, Minister.
Morning.
Morning, Minister. Yes, he's here.
So yah boo to whoever's asking.
It's the Dep Secretary. Have you read the brief on the revised conditions for the job splitting scheme?
Yes. Lie.
Good. So you'd like to come around and discuss it with you?
Fine. When would he like to come round?
Well, in about 5 minutes.
Very good. Well, have him come round in 5 minutes.
OK.
Minister.
Oh, come in.
So, what did you make of it, Minister?
Well, I was rather hoping to canvass your opinion first.
No, really, it's always nice to hear what the Minister thinks.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, let me find the relevant...
Thank you, Jenny.
The whole thing was a complete ambush. Firstly, he wanted to see what time I came into the office, and secondly, he wanted to see the extent to which I was reading the contents of the boxes. I should have been prepared for this. Classic civil service trick. Hide anything important at least halfway down the box just to catch the minister out. I'd quite like some coffee myself, Jenny. It is naturally and heartbreakingly a glorious summer morning. Invariably does it seem on such days that I am committed to heading west, to the constituency, where I am told no fewer than 22 people are booked in for surgery. If there are too many life stories, I won't even make the last train back to Saltwood. How many perfect days like this am I going to jettison? I can get very sentimental and long for darling Jane. Sometimes I get a wild urge to relieve my bladder out of the window, spattering on the ant-like minions below. Would this get one the sack? Probably not. It would have to be hushed up, trivial, but at the same time bizarre. I might do it on my last day.
Robert Armstrong telephoned, wants to know when you can fit him in the diary.
Why is our relationship so difficult? If only we were lovers.
I'm not bothered, really. Just as social, I imagine.
I don't think so.
Friend of my sister. Both trustees of Covent Garden. Probably told him to be nice to me.
I don't think so.
All right. Put him in, then.
OK, midday, then.
What about the Deputy Secretary?
Sir Robert is head of the civil service. I imagine the Deputy Sec will understand.
So, who do you admire most in the Commons?
Dennis Skinner. And that, it seems, was to be the full extent of our small talk.
There are certain matters that the Prime Minister has asked me to raise with you.
Really? Go ahead.
You've been spoken of with approval by the National Front.
Not at my solicitation.
If any of them should ever try to get in touch with you, I must ask you to inform my office immediately.
Oh, of course. Very unlikely, but of course.
There are also certain matters of personal conduct, which might quite possibly leave you open to blackmail.
No. It's perfectly all right. They're all married into grand Scottish families by now. Nevertheless, clearly, my card was being marked.
So, how did that go?
Perfectly all right. Dreary old thing, isn't he?
I thought about it for a little while. They must have been bugging my phone. There was no other explanation. And for ages. I find it rather encouraging. It shows how well we're governed.
There'll be a few cruise missiles here by the end of this year. The rest will come in slowly over 5 years. They are easily transportable and could be returned to the United States as soon as a satisfactory agreement were reached with the Soviet Union.
Today is the 69th anniversary of the assassination of the Archduke Ferdinand at Sarajevo, the date from which the world changed.
Mr. Clark, Plymouth Herald here. Now you're in the Department of Employment. Will you be doing more for the West Country unemployed?
Oh, yes.
Like what exactly?
Visits have to be organised in advance. Are you going there as an MP or as a minister? You can't go there as an MP if you're a minister, and ministers can't just make impromptu visits. If you want to go, you'll have to be accompanied at all times. We'd have to tell the local office. We'd have to get a press officer in case there were questions. I mean, it's...
Well, lay it on then.
Fine. Fine, Minister.
What a day. On the go without let-up from the early hours. Jenny had put in place a murderous schedule quite deliberately and came along, rare, to make sure there is no malingering. I ought to be full of testosterone boxed in alone with these two cerebral cuties. Quite the opposite. They've got me in a tungsten steel jockstrap. Within, there is nothing better than a champagne cork. We arrived at our first destination to a somewhat mixed reception. They're so sweet, most of them. They don't whinge, really. They're just bewildered and put upon. My very first ministerial questions on the floor of the House of Commons. A chance for all the Labour hoi polloi to lay into the new boy. It was my first real test. And I must say, I passed with flying colours.
Well done, Alan. Hurrah!
Nice to hear a genuine Toffs accent at the box occasion. You'll be selling tickets at your next performance. Thank you. Oh, me too.
To my great delight, I read sideways in the Whip's book. Clark dealt V-well with Canavan. He has a nice, slow delivery, which holds the attention of the House.
Your secretary's outside, mumbling something about your equal opportunities bill. Seems to think you haven't been spotting up enough. Wanted me to drag you out.
Oh, I think she can wait. Were you in the House?
After my success at the dispatch box, crowing with Ian Gow seemed infinitely preferable to dealing with the trifling matter of presenting a bill the following night. After all I had to do was stand up and read it out. Looking back now, I realize I was amazingly, suicidally overconfident. I barely even looked at the bill until the following day when I was in the back of the car going to Christopher's house for a wine tasting. Upon closer inspection, it seemed frightfully long. So long, indeed, that I would have to excise certain passages. But which? And yet this didn't seem very important, as we tasted first a bottle of 61 Palmer. Then, for comparison, a bottle of 75 Palmer. Then switched back to 61 for a really delicious Pichon Longueville. The fucking text. Its purpose was to ensure that women should be paid the same rate for the same task as men. In my view, in most instances, women deserve not less but more than the loutish, leering, cigaretting males who control most organizations. But I had underestimated the civil service's ability to render a document so convoluted as to make it impossible to read, never mind read out.
Well, up to a point.
I began hoping there'd be a huge IRA bomb in the New Palace yard, so the whole thing would be cancelled.
And I caution against omitting any of the preamble, because they won't...
Sorry, I need a quick pee.
This shouldn't present any problems.
None whatever. They all want to get to bed.
The chamber was unusually full for an after-10 event. As I started, the sheer odiousness of the text sank in.
Equal pay with a man in the same employment or a man with a woman where her work is of equal value.
Little did I know that Biffin was sloping around the corridors, no doubt told to keep an ear out by Tebbit.
Is to be determined under the new equal value provision. The tribunal will be able to dismiss the application if it is satisfied that there are no reasonable grounds for determining that the jobs are of equal value. Regulation 3.
Will the Minister pause and explain the meaning of that last paragraph?
How the hell did I know what it meant? Never mind. Heads down, bully and shove. I galloped helter-skelter from one disassociated proposition to another, and I was just beginning to enjoy myself when the inevitable happened.
Point of order, Claire Short.
I am aware that you cannot accuse a fellow member of not being sober. But I really believe that the honourable member is incapable. It is disrespectful to the House, to the office, and to the whole, that he should come here in this condition. Disgraceful.
What a lovely Brummy accent.
I see young Claire Short's giving Alan a run for his money.
It's a golden rule. Points of order on the annunciator screen for more than 2 minutes means a good row. So, put your head round the door and enjoy it.
The honourable member ought not to make allegations of that nature. She should withdraw them.
I still thought I could bluff it through when John Biffen finally made his appearance. Now, this is a bad sign. The leader only attends business after 10 o'clock when there is a major row. I forced my way through to the end. Fool, Clark. Fool, fool, fool. Up a stubby ladder and down a very long snake.
What was all that row about, sir?
They were saying I was drunk. I wasn't, was I?
You certainly weren't, sir. I've never seen you drunk.
My driver, Dave, is nothing if not loyal. I am convinced that I have been allocated the black spot, to be dismissed at the earliest opportunity. Biffen never forgets a thing and has constant audience with the lady.
I don't expect to be here much longer.
Oh. We'll miss you.
Even so, anything can happen. Tebbit had to go to the bathroom twice during a meeting yesterday. Cecil looked awful on television, with sores showing on both upper and lower lips. Even the lady's eye operation may go wrong.
By the end of this year, our nerve is being tested. We must not falter now.
I returned to Saltwood to lick my wounds, and on Hythe Beach I breathed in the ozone and thought of times past. The golden summer of 1955, when I was running Anne, Mary, and Liz, all of them living within half a mile of each other. My total fitness held up for so long, with only tiny degradations, until Parliament took over. It's the late nights that are shredding it. I always hated late nights and avoided them if ever I could, until well into my 40s.
Enjoy it.
And this allowed me to bank a lot of energy. I am rested and randy. In the first days back after a vigorous holiday, one is always full of zest.
Good holiday, Minister.
Excellent. Spitefully, although other ministers were meant to be covering my routine stuff, Jenny has kept a lot of it back. Some of my colleagues are in trouble, and this always makes me calm. Poor Cecil Parkinson looks like being in what the Edwardians called hot water, as the girl is making paternity claims. No mention of me anywhere in all this, I'm glad to note. There is even an offensive piece about the lady, referring to her as the great she-elephant.
Minister, you've never done anything in committee, have you?
No, of course not. How could I have?
Have you ever attended a committee?
Not really.
Have you ever read a Hansard of committee proceedings?
No. Have you?
Yes.
All right. What's it like?
Batty. Completely batty.
Really? I was on my own. My team are under express instructions not to open their mouths. But I felt trusted and capable until Tom King rather crampingly appeared.
Just thought I'd see you started.
I remind the committee that we are considering amendment number 6 in page 1, line 9. After secure insert...
We were debating the trade union bill, the absolute bugbear of the Labour opposition. However, I was quietly confident that we would prevail.
Surely a matter of common sense. This is an important point. Is the Minister encouraging trade unions to break their contracts with their own members? And I find it a strange departure if the Minister is encouraging such illegality.
We are not encouraging illegality. I am just trying to introduce a note of realism.
It's not a very good start.
Well, I thought I was introducing a practical proposition.
Will the Minister direct the committee's attention to where the last provision to which he referred is mentioned in the bill?
My intention had been to be smooth, conciliatory, just get the bill through. Huh. Clause 5, brackets 3.
I don't understand it. As this is a government bill, will the Minister give us an ABC guide to Clause 5, bracket 3, and explain it in clear, lucid language?
Not a clue. If the committee so wishes... Suddenly, I found myself in the horrific position of being utterly dependent on my civil servants. Put on record.
Where'd you get this geezer, Tom?
He's not up to it. What are we going to do? He's hopeless.
They kept feeding me the cribs, but if you don't understand the question, how can you understand the answer? We accept that the clause is obscure, but if the honourable gentleman would just give me a moment,
I hope that when a trade union writes to the Under-Secretary asking what this section means, they'll get a more respectable and responsible reply.
For 2 pins, I'd have bolted from the room, driven down to Jane and the hens, and never left the walls again.
Come for a drink.
Why?
Oh, all right then, don't.
November is always a bad month for me. Stale air, bad diet, too jittery to do my yoga. Someone had mentioned John Davis. Wasn't his brain tumour caused entirely by overwork? I am vulnerable. The other side now realise that any amendment can catch me out, have spotted me as the weak link in the array. People are gloating. Terribly sorry. Don't know what came over me.
And there's more, same time next Thursday, when you can also see the first in a new series of Dinner with Portillo, talking asylum at 9:30. But stay with us now for brother of Alan, Colin's gossipy insight into the tantrums, mistrust and misunderstanding on the set of The Prince and the Showgirl. And neither Marilyn Monroe nor Laurence Olivier come out of it awfully well.